Hello, and welcome back to the Self-Paced Independent Facilitator and Self-Determination Training. I am Christine Tolbert with the State Council on Developmental Disabilities, Orange County office, and will be your presenter today. As a reminder, the Independent Facilitator and Self-Determination is a 6-part training, as you can see on your slide, and today we will be covering Part 6, the business of facilitation. At the end of Part 6, there will be a final activity which you will need to complete the Independent Facilitator training. Instructions will be provided at the appropriate time during the training, and you will have access to this PowerPoint slideshow and any accompanying resources. What we will cover today: fees, contract, the business part of facilitation, mandated reporting, and a wrap-up. There are no set fees or established rates for independent facilitation services. You will need to establish your rates based on your business practices or model and what works for you. Some options for a fee scale may include a flat rate fee, which is a specific and total fee for the entire case. This is best when the amount of time doesn't vary much on a case-by-case basis for relatively simple or routine cases. A capped rate is like a standard hourly rate, but there's a cap on what can be charged overall. And then an hourly basis is exactly as it sounds. You can charge an hourly rate for each phone call, email, meeting, or action you take on behalf of your client. It is open-ended and useful when you are uncertain of the complexity of the case and how much time may be needed to resolve it. When considering fees, it will depend entirely on your role for the client. Will you be facilitating the IPP meeting alone or acting as an advocate? Will you be expected to troubleshoot problems? Again, your role will inform your fees. Please note that before starting any business, you will want to consult with a tax advisor on any financial implications of your business, and you also may opt to consult with an attorney regarding liability, contracts, or legalities. Acting as an independent facilitator for others is a business, and as such, you will need to establish contracts with clients that should include, but aren't limited to, line items involving withdrawing from representation, scope of work, a no guarantee clause, and so on. You may opt to have an attorney review your contracts in advance of establishing your business. If you don't take a case with a client, please be sure to explain your reasons to them. Be honest. Also, research if you will need to acquire a small business license or liability or business insurance. You will be handling sensitive and confidential information and possibly some protected health information. Remember to protect yourself and your clients by keeping files confidentially and sending emails and attachments encrypted when emailing sensitive information. Keeper docs. At minimum, you should be generating a checklist of sorts for all necessary documents you believe you will need to act as an IF for your client. Examples include a face sheet, a representation form, release forms, and such. Your representation agreement should also include your policy regarding retention of client files. There are many aspects to running any business, including one as significant as this, where you are really supporting people's lives. You will need to do your own research on how to accomplish this. These are just some basic tips that we wanted to share, but we certainly cannot cover all the aspects of starting a business. Being sure to manage your workload, taking only the number of cases you can truly handle. You may want your own timesheet or accounting for your own use in order to review how much time you are spending on cases and in what activities. Also, being sure clients can reach you and responding to your clients promptly and in the way they prefer. Whether paid or pro bono, you should be doing the exact same quality and amount of work for your client. Mandated reporting. As you are not employed by a governing agency, you are a contract employee. Therefore, you are not a trained mandated reporter. However, if you see or suspect abuse, please contact Adult Protective Services or Child Protective Services, depending on their age, the client's regional center case manager, and the FMS or Financial Management Services to report. The information for Adult Protective Services is located both in your statewide contacts handout and on this slide. The Orange County APS hotline is 1-800-451-5155, and that is a 24-hour hotline. For adults, please read Welfare and Institutions Code section 15630 through 15632. This is included as a resource. And on your own, please research Penal Code 11164 for children. It's important for you to know how and who to cross-report to and required timelines. If you see or suspect something, say something. Please note, the definitions of abuse as listed are included in the WIC sections you should be reading, as referenced on the prior slide. Also, note the possible signs and symptoms of abuse that we noted on this slide are not a complete or exhausted list, but just some of the possible signs and symptoms. Examples of abuse include financial, neglect, physical, sexual, and emotional, psychological. Possible signs and symptoms of abuse include feeling or acting upset for a long time, losing skills or confidence, a change in behavior or mood. Your client may seem frightened of certain people or situations. Maybe they become agitated or aggressive, or they self-isolate. It's activity time. Please take a few minutes to respond to the next slide labeled activity in the upper right corner. Please email your response to us at orangecounty@scdd.ca.gov. Upon receipt of your response, we will send you a certificate of completion for the Independent Facilitator training series. Here's your final activity. As a final wrap-up for the Independent Facilitator and Self-Determination training, please provide 3 top concepts, ideas, or strategies that will help you to be a better independent facilitator or that helped you better understand the role of an IF in self-determination. Note, please use all 6 parts of the IF training series for this activity. Thank you for participating in part 6 of the Independent Facilitator and Self-Determination, the Business of Facilitation. Just a reminder to respond to the previous slide labeled activity in the upper right corner, email us your response, and we will be happy to provide you with a certificate of completion that you finished all 6 parts of this training. We thank you for taking this journey with us and truly hope this helps support you either as an IF or as a person served or family member looking to hire an IF. Thank you again and take care.